tell you the mood has been pretty somber driving through Pietermaritzburg in the evening. It's only in the morning when we really saw the extent of the damage that has happened to malls such as this one. We're at the Edendale Mall where the clean-up and mop-up operation has started. We had a chat earlier with some of the cleaning staff, and we had a chat with, in fact, as we arrived in Zinga, the MEC for Economic Development arrived here at this particular mall, Mr. Ravi Pillay, and we had a chat with him as well on the devastation that was caused in these particular malls. I'm joined now by Ukuku, who is the management company who run this mall. Gugu, let's walk this way as you can take us through your mall. We heard you tell the stories of how tough it has been over the past couple of days.
It's been absolutely heartbreaking because in actual fact this mall was turning 10 this year in September. Every single store in the mall has been burnt.
The question is, and which are some of the ladies who are helping clean up, as my colleague Govani Blom shows us, some of the dirt that was taken from inside the mall.
Yeah.
Why the mindset of somebody to do this? And these are the very people who would come back to this very shopping center to buy your groceries.
Look, Thabiso, in terms of the mindset and the reasons behind it, I don't know. Only God knows. I don't know, but it's just like I said. It's absolutely heart-wrenching because obviously the same community that we've been plowing so much into are the same people who would turn around and do something like this. I mean, over 2,000 jobs have been lost through this mall alone, and of course, Greater Edendale Mall is the main economic hub in the Greater Edendale area. We've got over 18 communities that surround this mall that we feed. So it's absolutely devastating. A lot of people are still crying over it. Some of the store owners don't even have haven't had the heart to come back and have to come and check on their stores. I mean, that side of the mall, the roof has caved in. And you must remember also, the reason why all the malls are so badly burnt is we are going through a pandemic. Regulation is every single store is supposed to have sanitizer, which is highly flammable. So if you light a match and you throw it in there, gone.
I mean, you spoke about stories as I bring one of the business owners in Zinga who was deeply affected by this, Sabelo Vilagazi. Sabelo, this was your baby.
Yes.
Capital Lifestyle, you told us you hosted events here. It was a melting pot of Pietermaritzburg that joined you here. You've got 3 stores in this particular,
yes.
And you were earlier to the MEC that how heartbroken you are,
yeah.
having to watch people come in with your stuff that you work for.
Yeah, man. As I said before, I am shattered by what has happened to my stores. People looting, and to see my hard work, being bent down into ashes right in front of my eyes. So helplessly, I started in this mall 10 years ago as a street vendor. I sold, cookies. I sold food. I sold fruit and veggies in this mall. And this mall gave me a chance to become, a better human being and a responsible member of society, where I employed, now 10 years later, I have 3 establishments that employed more than 60 people, and all this is devastating to us.
As my colleague Kobani is showing those pictures, actually, on the right in Zinga to the camera, behind the camera, as I said, some of the cleaning staff, or in fact the workers that used to work at this particular mall, they're sitting there, they're without jobs right now. In fact, we spoke to some of them and they said, we're going to clean up, and hopefully the owners of this mall, the businesses such as yourself, will plow back and return to this particular mall to make sure that, businesses will still continue.
Yes. We are very grateful, for all this, for the community that has come to help, to try, and give us hope that we can rebuild again and, open up our businesses very soon. But, it's so uncertain at the moment, and we are all living in fear of what is next. And the heartbreaking thing is that they are without jobs, and they don't know where their next meal will come from. And it's just so hard to see their faces, and as you can see as well, it's extremely hard. They've been working and helping us, to clean up, and from morning they haven't had anything to eat.
That is the question. I know we're running out of time, I want to hand back to you. That's the question now. The food security of this area, Edendale. I know, having come up all the way from Sweetwater down this way, bread is in short supply. We saw cars queuing to go to a garage. Simple, the basics. What are people doing now?
Gosh, it's extremely hard as well. The food security has been affected badly. To get the most basic item, milk, bread, and all these simple things, it's very hard. You have to stand in a queue for 5 hours to just get those basics. And some of us, some of them don't have their own cars, to go to all these.
And it costs them more to get into a taxi to go buy the loaf of bread.
And the taxis are currently not operating.
Yes.
So it's extremely hard for them as well.
So we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, we're running out of time. Well, Nzinga, as I said, these are just some of the stories. The cleanup operation continues in Pietermaritzburg. We do hear that, of course, there are pockets of there and there sporadic violence, but hopefully that comes to a rest. We know the president is currently in the province, and hopefully people will heed that call, calm down, and make sure that the economy rises back up. And places like these, which were everyone a melting pot, as Sabelo said, and he's totally broken, as you heard from Sabelo as well as Ukuku. And the cleanup operations continue here in Pietermaritzburg. And with that, I hand matters back to you in studio.